Hi, my name is Frank Schaefer, and this Thanksgiving I have a message for all Americans and indeed anyone in the world listening to this. Stop for a moment and give thanks that Joe Biden is the President of the United States. Joe Biden, who has powered the American economy forward ahead of all developed nations in recovery from COVID. Joe Biden, who is not a conspiracy theorist, grandstanding and threatening political opponents with retribution. Joe Biden, who does not name the people who criticize him and even their clerks, as Trump does with a law clerk in a court, resulting in dozens, even hundreds of threats on their lives. Joe Biden, who has led the Western alliance against Vladimir Putin's invasion of Ukraine and senseless war of rape and pillage. Joe Biden, who has stood up and tried to encourage our ally in the Middle East, Israel, and at the same time moderate their understandable behavior in making war on Hamas after the deadly attack on Israeli civilians. Joe Biden, whose age and experience is more needed now than at any time in American history. Joe Biden, who is criticized because he's 81 years old, while his opponent, Donald Trump, who fumbles and stumbles, as all old people do, speaking as a 71-year-old myself, somehow doesn't have any age counted against him, and at the same time offers threats, open threats against U.S. democracy, against generals in the Pentagon who had the temerity to oppose him, against anybody who doesn't grovel at his feet and worship him, as the misled white evangelicals do, who voted for him. Thank God for an even-tempered, older, wise human in charge of our politics right now, at a time of war, at a time of challenge, at a time when our economy needed sensible guidance rather than just giveaways to the billionaires. This Thanksgiving, I am thankful for my family. I've spent the morning as the cook in this family preparing Thanksgiving dinner. But the only reason that I don't look upon those I love most with incredible fear right now, in these trying times we live in, is because we are led by a sensible, older, experienced, seasoned American when we have never been challenged to the degree we are right now since Franklin Roosevelt and the Second World War. Joe Biden is the best president of my lifetime. Joe Biden will go down in history as an unsung hero, unsung by the fools in the media and the general public who did not recognize the unique ability he brought to the presidency. Not only do I hope Joe Biden runs again and doesn't listen to his detractors, not only am I sure that if he does, he will win again, but I think Joe Biden will take us into the future of the United States with confidence and showing the leadership he has in the last 3 years of his presidency. I am not a tepid supporter of Joe Biden. I am an enthusiastic supporter because if I've learned anything in my own 71 years of observing the world and changing and growing as a father and a grandfather, it is not to be swept along with every fashion that comes down the pike. Shame on the media for not pointing out the extreme threat that Donald Trump is not only to our democracy, but to the rule of law, when judges and court clerks and generals and others are threatened with death because they oppose him. When hundreds of thousands of Americans died needlessly because of his ego-driven refusal to recognize the severity of the COVID epidemic. We cannot go down that road again. And Trump's supporters may stick with him or they may not. But the idea that any Democrat of any age, of any race, of any gender, of any persuasion is not 100% in Joe Biden's corner, whether you agree with every figment of his policy or not, stuns me. Wake up, grow up, get behind our president, who has earned our trust who has earned our respect. And this Thanksgiving Day, join me in saying, God bless Joe Biden. My name is Frank Schaefer.